Well, today the 30-minute time frames were the key again. They held the market off the lows. The S&P low was 68.52. And then we caught the big short on the big sell divergences on the S&P futures on the 30-minute time frame. So the underlying ETFs, believe it or not, was still very, very bullish on the diamonds and on the spiders, SPY, on the 15, the 30, and the 60-minute time frame. So really great patterns there to hold the market up. But then we got some big sell reversals on the S&P futures on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. So now you have a sell disconnect because the 15-minute S&P futures were bullish, the 30 and 60 were bearish. So you had the sell disconnect on the S&P futures. You had the buy trend on the underlying ETFs on the 15 and 30. I went with that. Boom, and then we called a really great short that dropped the S&Ps about 20 points. Gold, unbelievable, up over 2.5% today. Gold, monster day, above 4,200. Actually hit a high of 42.18, and then at the end of the day, we got this big push down below 98 here, 98.5. Just rallied 10 on this gold. A really great long pattern, especially with the GLDs now really very strong on the 15 and 30-minute time frames. Oil reversed the sell on the 30 and 60-minute time frames on the USO. Nothing but short patterns. When you have the ADX is rising, big selling pressure on the 30 and 60. I'll show you that. Monster pattern there. Microsoft actually reversed to buy at 1 o'clock on the 15 and then on the 30-minute time frame. Up and away. Microsoft's couple of really great longs, especially the long around the 330 time period. Microsoft ran about 2. We saw some big sell divergences today on NVIDIA, Avago, Tesla. We called a really beautiful short on Tesla on the opening. I'll show you that. Coinbase, negative on the 30 and the 60 and the 15. What do you look to do? You short the bounces on the 15, the 215, one at 12.30, one at 3.30. Really great patterns there. The Dow had the Dow up over 0.75%. Really great pullback on the diamonds on the 15. Some really great patterns on Caterpillar on shorts today. UNH in shorts. AMD, unbelievable. AMD. Big sell reversals off the highs. AMD hit a high of 163 and change. But then what happened? AMD reversed the sell on the 15-minute time frame. I knew that there was an 85% chance that the highs were in. But again, the deep oversold conditions really were very strong on the AMD long. AMD pushed up from 54 to 58 at the end of the day. So we had oil down over 4%. We had the gold up over 2%. We had a really tight range here on the S&Ps, 52 up to 84. NASDAQ, very tight range as well. Now this morning when we got this big push up, this big gap up, I said I'd be looking to short the Qs. We missed the Qs, the spiders. We got NVIDIA, Coinbase, Amazon. When you had these big sell divergences with the MACDs negative above the pivot, you short the bounce into those negative MACDs and then you look for the drop. All right. With that being said, let me just show you what I saw here today. So again, going to the 30 and the 60-minute time frames here. We'll go to the 30 and 60-minute time frame on the spiders here. You can see this is the pullback yesterday on the 11th right here. But this is the pullback again. The oversold condition on the 30-minute time, the 60s, and on the 30-minute time frames right here. You can see that the push down was very strong, very strong. S&P traded 52 and then rallied really about 25 points on the S&P. So what you want to do there, and you see something like that, I knew that this pattern right here was holding here, off the 30 and off the 60. Then you see this little bear flag. Well, guess what? When the S&P is pushed up to 84 here, you can see the push up on the up. I don't know what's going on here. Let me just change this. Go ES here. Let's do that. S&P's pushed up here right into the 10 bar. You can see the 60-minute reverse to sell, a negative MACD. You see the 15, the 60s, the 30s reversing to sell. So you take this short on the overbought condition right into the 10 bar at 2 o'clock, 84 and a quarter, boom, kaboosh, down 20 points. So basically, when you see this type of pattern, you saw, like I said, the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frames were bullish on the underlying ETF, but you had a sell disconnect on the S&Ps on the 30 and 60. So what you do is, that's why you look at both look at both assets. Remember, this S&P futures trade over 22 hours in a day. The spiders trade 6.5 hours in a day. So the math is completely different. Completely different. All right, let me go back and now show you gold here today. So gold, out of nowhere, kaboomed to the upside. Now, I'll show you here on this push up here on the 5. We got stopped here on this trade here, and then it pushed up higher, caught this short, dropped to 65 here. I was trying to buy this with the ADX is rising 63.5. Never looked back. Again, just taking shorts on the highs, looking for some pullbacks here. 86, boom, dropped all the way down here to 80. And then once these MACDs started going negative here, you can see here the MACDs turn negative. Here's a short here at 09. We caught that one. Now we caught this long here. Okay, we caught this long here as well. But then when they pushed up here again, the MACD's non-confirming above 12. We were 11 up to 17 on that range to get short. And then basically what you look for here, you look for here on the gold. This is the push up here around 12. What is going on here with this stupid thing? It got up here to 12. Okay. And then 41, 42, 12.6, and it got kabooshed down to 96 here. All right. Now this pattern right here, all right, that late in the day, you can see here, I said to everyone, when gold pushed down to 96, 97, I said, you're going to get another big push up here because the ADXs are rising. And I said, normally what happens is you get a push down on the oscillator to like the 65, 75 range, exactly got down to 68, but then expect one more push down towards the end of the day where you're going to get a deep oversold condition, and good Lord God, do we ever. So this was another short here, again, making new highs above 18. We were shorting these 15.5 up to 16.5 up to 23.5 range. The high was 18. And then, it just dropped here. You can see the drop of about 6. And then out of nowhere, you got a big pencil down here, about 12. This should have been shorted on this next bar to 06, I believe, here. And then it got kabooshed around 8. And then when the 5s got oversold here against the 15s and the 30s, we took a bunch of longs here on the gold. Really great pattern here. Here's the other long at the end of the day. We caught this long beautifully. I said, look to buy 91.80 to 98.80 on the gold. And then gold just pushed up here. You can see the big push up here right up to the 07 level. So a really great day in gold. We did have, I think, 1 or 2 stop outs on that rally, but the other trades after that, the other 15 to 19, 20 trades after that, well made up for it. Especially when you're fading a trend like that, you switch to micros, okay? All right, Microsoft reversing to buy here. Let me get the camera off. Microsoft reversing to buy here on the 15-minute time frame right around here. You can see Microsoft reversing to buy right here. At 12.45, but this was the big buy divergence in Microsoft. You can see Microsoft made a new low here below 500. Now this MACD did not confirm the low, so I was looking at Microsoft. I didn't bring it to the community's attention, but I saw it. I said this Microsoft is making a new low non-confirmation. I said, and this thing's going to rally. Now, did I think it was going to rally 11 or 12 points? No. Okay, but it rallied beautifully, and then when the 15 reversed to buy, it correlated with the 60, so you go into what's called a buy disconnect. And then you hear the 30-minute reverses to buy right here. You can see here at 1 o'clock. And then what's the strategy? Went up, up, and away. What happened with Microsoft? You buy the first pullback on the 5-minute time frame. You could have bought here, 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 here. 5 times you could have bought it, and look at every pullback here from here, 1, 2, 3, 4 was a great win. So basically that strategy right there, you buy the first pullback on the 5-minute time frame after the 15 correlated with the 60, the 30 correlated with the 60 and the 15. You buy the pullback, up and away, a monster pattern. Let's look at AMD here today. AMD, okay, reverses to sell here. And I was shorting this up here just for a pullback, right? And it dropped here to 56. So AMD dropped about 7. And once the 15 reverses to sell here, there's an 85% chance that the lows are in for the day. The highs are in for the day, sorry. But if you look at the 30-minute, okay, this drop here, the first one was along. The second drop, look at this, beautiful. It's set up to the 15 right here on the oversold condition. 254, boom, rallies about 3. But then the second pullback here set up the long on the 30-minute. Right here, look, 254.50. This is an absolute Picasso. This is an absolute Picasso. So, and especially you can see the 60-minute is bullish here as well. The ADXs are rising. Beautiful bull flag here. So the bottom line is, when you see a pattern like that, okay, you see the 15s reverse. You could take the long on the oversold condition, even though the algo reversed to sell. You went from a positive trend to a buy disconnect. What do you look to do? You buy the first pullback on the 15. You trade it long. The second pullback, you can see here, okay, got oversold. You can see made even a lower low here, was a 53.99. Yeah, 53.37. The deep oversold condition really set up beautifully here on the 30-minute. So you had a 15 and a 15 and 30 oversold condition and up and away. People, please listen. These patterns repeat themselves. I'm trying to explain this to you. This was an absolute Picasso. Let's look at Meta, another great trade of the day. Look at Meta on the 30-minute time frame. We're negative. Boom. Here's the opening, 628. The stock pushed up into a negative MACD. Got absolutely kabooshed after that, Meta. Dropped 20, okay? But when Meta reverses to sell on the 60-minute time frame at 10:30, you go into what's called a negative trend. You go into what's called a negative trend, right? And what do you look to do? You short the first bounce on the 15-minute time frame. That's right here. Boom, at 12:45. You can see it here. 12:45, right? And then this next push up here was off the 30-minute, and you can see the drop of Meta. So again, negative MACD, rising ADX, the 60-minute time frame correlated. The 60-minute correlated. You were in a negative. So coming in, you were in what's called a sell disconnect. The 15 and the 30s were in sell mode. Okay, when the 60-minute reverses to sell, what do you look to do? Boom, here's a 60. You short the first bounce on the 15-minute time frame. Absolutely kaboosh. Look at that. Dropped $6. And then another bounce here into the 10 bar, 245 on the 15-minute, okay, and an absolute kaboosh there. These patterns are very, very powerful. Okay, Coinbase reversing to sell yesterday, okay, on the 60 and the 30-minute time frames. So what do you look today to do? Well, first of all, I was shorting this Coinbase today at 10:15 in the morning. Okay, you can see the push up here on the 60-minute and the 30-minute. The MACDs are negative here on the 60. So I was calling shorts this morning. Where's this going? Where's this going? Here, where's this here? 312, right? Sorry, 312, 311. I was 10.5 up. Okay, you can see here the MACDs, you're in a negative trend. And the stock's pushing up into a negative MACD on the 30 and the 60-minute time frame. These are absolute shorts. Okay, and then what do you look to do? You short the first. This is the one bounce here on the 15. Here's the second bounce here on the 15, somewhere between 06 and 05 here. And here's the second short at the end of the day, which I know is kind of late, at around 345, 06, and it dropped about $1. Well, actually, it dropped a little bit more. Was trading here. It's up after hours right now. Bitcoin got absolutely caboosed today. Bitcoin. Again, if you're trading Bitcoin, you can see the 30-minute reverses to sell here at 10:30. The 60-minute reverses to sell on Bitcoin right here at around 11 o'clock. So 30 minutes later, Bitcoin reverses to sell. And what do you look to do? You look to short every rally on the 15-minute time frame. Here was one. Here was another one here. Now, when you get this little blip up here at 12:45, you can see the drop in Bitcoin about 800. Again, remember, when it traded up here above the 102-100, the oscillator had to have been higher because this closer was called end of bar. So if you look here, the high is 102.41, 102.143, and the low and the was 101.52, and the close was about 300 lower. So basically, you can see the open and the close. So again, great pattern. And again, if you're trading Bitcoin during the U.S. session, you need to look at the underlying ETF. I mean, here it is. IBIT's 59.56. Boom. You can see the drop here, 59.56. I mean, it dropped $2 here. Okay, again, pushing up into a negative MACD on the 60. Again, these sell divergences, again, pushing up here into a negative MACD on the 30. These are absolute Picassos here. All right, what else am I going to show you? SMCI, no. HIMS, no. Coinbase, we went over. NVDA, this is the darling of everybody's. Okay, I'm waiting for data. I don't know why. Okay, so NVIDIA, okay, today, you can see the push up here. NVIDIA, again, you're pushing up to new highs here above the 195 level. Okay, NVIDIA, I couldn't say short fast enough. Okay, you can see the push up here into the negative MACD on the 30-minute. And then on the 60-minute time frame, NVIDIA got absolutely cabooshed here. Okay, well, NVIDIA, I'm sorry, the MACDs are positive. It was off the 30-minute, okay? But then, if you look here in NVIDIA, you're already in a negative trend. And what was the strategies raised? Basically, you short the bounces on the 1145, and then the 145. So you had some really great shorts there before the end of the day. They goosed them. Last but not least, Tesla. Tesla got an absolute cabooshin today. Tesla pushed up today, this morning. Here, this is Tesla right here on the opening, 10:30. Now, Tesla, when it pushed up today, okay, you can see here that the MACDs couldn't confirm the high, but the 60-minute, the 30-minute time frame, look at this. The 30-minute time frame on the push up, I was shorting this Tesla. I said, look to short 39.5 to 42.5 range. And then you can see just within 30 minutes, Tesla dropped 13 points here. This is an absolute Picasso. You're pushing up into a negative MACD here on the 30-minute time frame. So again, these patterns are really, really powerful. And this is what I teach every single day here during my live stream. All right. Today, very wild day, even though we're back after Veterans Day. And so, but when I come back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. All right, so for tomorrow, I'm expecting, we have the CPI number, I believe, is out tomorrow. I believe it's out tomorrow. That's what somebody said. I wanted to just check that. I believe the CPI is out tomorrow. Now, if the number comes in a little hotter than expected, I think it's already going to be priced into the market. I think the market's going to get cabooshed, though. But if the number comes in better than expected, and I don't see that, I think if we do gap up, you got the big sell divergences on the 30-minute time frame on the spiders and the Qs. The bottom line is if they goose them up tomorrow after the CPI number, then I would look to short them, okay? And then what I look for then is if we do get a push down here, we still have a lot of cushion on these ETFs on the 30 and 60-minute time frame. So with that being said, again, any rally to new highs, I'd be looking to short them. And let's see if these 30 and 60-minute time frames are going to hold. Big number on the Qs, 617.69. That's on the 30. 615.53 on the 60. On the spiders, on the 30-minute, 679.42. That's about 40 points on the S&P here. And then on the 60-minute, 677.33. That's 60 points on the S&P. So the S&Ps will have to drop 60 points, okay, from where we currently are, to get a big sell reversal, which is probably around the 68.14 level. All right, when I get back, I wanted to share something that I really think you need to hear. So today, two of my traders, was trading, and I can't tell people what to do. But one of the big things I tell people all the time is, as you're learning to scale into a trade or a position, it's important to learn how to trade, scale in and scale out, okay? The hard thing that's really important to fully understand is the following. Okay, that you have to determine how many contracts you want, whether it's a scalp trade, a pattern trade, and then how many contracts you want to trade, whether it's 5 micros, 10 micros, 15 micros, 20, or 5 big ones, or whatever it is. That's the first lesson right there. To trade and pick out how many contracts do you want to trade, number one. Number two, okay, to do single lot entries doesn't work in this environment, in my book, meaning just to sell, you can't short a gold at 42.16, watch it go to 42.19 and not sell more within the range. Single lot entries do not work. I think the odds are way against you on single lot entries. That means entering one price on any asset at any given time and not building a position or scaling into the trade based upon the scalp end or the pattern. So that's a no-no. The other no-no I saw someone do today is when the S&Ps and the NASDAQ futures were pushing down to new lows, and yes, I called a big turn up because of the 30-minute time frame. One of the things I said to somebody, what they said to me is, I'm long both NASDAQ and S&P. Listen, I can't tell people what to do. But with that being said, I would just focus on one. If you're going to be long both, that's just, to me, that's crazy. Just load up more on one or the other. All right? Okay. So those are the two lessons I wanted to share with you tonight. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight here on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Also, I want to say tonight I'll be hosting the My Funded Futures from 8 to 10 p.m. tonight. So be there. Again, it's going to be on SK Trading YouTube, where my podcast is, or also on the My Funded Futures YouTube. Also, if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can follow me at official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, look at a company called Monetary Metals. If you're holding your own gold, check out Monetary Metals. Great company. They actually pay you 4% dividend. You give the stock, you give your gold to them. They hold it securely. They pay you 4% on your money that's sitting in a safety deposit box or in your drawer or under your bed somewhere. Check out Monetary Metals. Great company. They're going to explode. All right. Also, if you'd like to join my community of traders from all around the world, please come and join me here at sktrading.live. I'm happy to be here. I love it every single day. I love meeting new people from all around the world. And most important, I want to see you consistent and be able to come back the next day and learn from me and learn the methodology that I spent nearly 10 years of my life building. Again, thank you for joining me here tonight. Oh, if you want to text me or call me, my cell phone number is 914-500-7484. Thank you for joining me here tonight. God bless you. Have a great night. I hope to see you tonight at the 8 to 10 o'clock session. And God bless the United States of America. Take care, everybody.